Good evening. Manu wanted to take admission in a school which was very prestigious, but mother couldn't afford. Mother never said that you should not take admission. So she simply told Manu, let's take admission in the nearby vernacular school. That was a setback for Manu. And Manu retaliated by failing in his subjects. Sumitra was interested in getting married to a guy who was not from the same community. Father did not agree and forced her to get married to someone in the same community. Marriage did not last long. Father and Sumitra both repented, and it created utter chaos in the family and society. There are several such incidents where people have sabotaged their lives systematically but subconsciously. They didn't know that they were acting against their own interest. They were trying to rebel against their parents and didn't even realize that they were actually sabotaging themselves. I had a young girl who walked into my chamber saying that I've been coughing very badly and I need to work on my cough. Coming from a medical background, I could realize that this is clear-cut symptom of tuberculosis, and it was also very fast-spreading tuberculosis. So I asked her to go to a doctor I trusted the most. Within a week, the tuberculosis spread still further. She lost 4 kgs further, and she was rapidly deteriorating, and even the last generation antibiotics for tuberculosis was not helping her. We started exploring her psychosomatic games and figured out that there was a time when she was quite young. One day she came late and mother said, "Why did you come late? This is not done." And out of her anger, she said, "There would come a day, Mom, when even if you want, I'll not be able to step out of the house." And she proved her right. She developed a worse situation and almost a helpless and hopeless situation. The moment she understood her game, she worked on her feelings and reversal of the kind of statements she had made. And she told me that I know if I need to punish my parents, I don't have to be rude to them. I just have to punish myself because nothing hurts them much more than the hurt that they get while seeing me in pain. So would you cause a pain to give pain to others? What kind of game is that? And yet there are so many people who play this game. Almost every alcoholic play this game. Every drug addict play this game. Every gambler play this game. They sabotage their lives to sabotage the authority because they haven't learned to say no as and when they could. They did not know how to rebel. Probably they never had a courage, and they did not want to comply either. So they learned to sabotage indirectly. If you have somebody in the office who's working and have this kind of sabotage behavior, and if you show your authority, they may do it, but they'll do it in such a way that you will always repent. Why the hell did you give this work to this person? For example, dropping a check in ATM. Yes, the check will be dropped, but which ATM? We don't know. If you force them to email, they'll email. Which email ID? We do not know. Now you can relate to these kind of people around you, right? I had a young girl who was a smoker and she wanted to quit smoking. And we realized that it is sabotage against authoritarian parent figure. She said, it's so true. When I was a child, even at age 2.5 years, my mother would force me to drink milk. And I would gladly take it in my mouth. I would neither swallow nor spit it out. And after an hour or two, my mother had to come with a bowl and say, please now spit out. And I would spit out, but I would never let that milk in my system. And that would be such a waste of milk, mom's time, and even her time. But she would do that. These are no-win situations, and sometimes we get into it knowingly or unknowingly. It's high time we recognize these patterns, if any, and start cooperating with the parent personality. Later, even when parents are not around, we have problems with authority figures such as bosses, teachers, elder siblings. And even if no one is around, we have problems with our own authority. It's already a researched paper or research publication where Eric Byrne has said how we have three kinds of personalities: adult, parent, and a child. Usually, when the parent personality is overcautious, overprotective, over-instructive, they tend to suppress or they tend to dominate the child personality. And the child personality has three kinds of reactions. Either they comply, they rebel, and when they cannot comply or cannot rebel, they tend to sabotage the authority. As I already gave you some of these examples, a lot of us, we carry forward these patterns even when we grow up. Now, not with parents and parent figures. It's between the child in us and the parent in us. So the parent in us would wake up in the morning and say, I need to go for exercise. And the child in us will wake up in the morning and say, hey, I can do that tomorrow. Let me sleep today. The parent in us usually says, okay, you should eat this. You should have this kind of diet, this kind of exercise. And the child in us says, maybe from the next month, maybe from the next year. The parent in us wants to go on a diet. The child in us wakes up early in the morning, looks at the refrigerator, sees a big chunk of cake, and there the whole diet plan goes for a full toss. A lot of failures in life belong to this category where there is a conflict between the parent personality and a child personality. However, there's an adult personality. If the adult personality, who's very neutral, can see through the games, and if the adult personality takes over and make sure that whatever is done in a very rational manner without these gameplays. You can overcome your self-sabotage. Another way would be to heal the child in us, the trauma, the helplessness, the hopelessness, and empower the child. This can happen with a deep clinical work. And the third option is just be aware of your games and try and talk out to the child in us. Also, explain to the parent in us that you don't have to be so much severe or so much authoritarian. Give a little bit of space, be a little lenient. Don't be pressurized by society's norm and others' expectations from you. Consider the incompletions of the child in you before you dominate the child. It takes a while for us to, first of all, recognize these personalities and then work with these personalities and then overcome this pattern. And yet it's worth the effort. If needed, please meet your mentor or radical practitioners and heal that part of you as soon as possible so that you stop sabotaging yourself. A long-term solution would be to keep doing your radical statements and slowly heal the child in you and then the parent in you till the time the adult can take over and guide you further. Passive-aggressive behavior, that's a clinical term given to this condition, is one such story. There are many other reasons for sabotage. The reasons could be ancestral stories, guilt, tendency to punish yourself, fear of success, fear of inviting jealousy, fear of being exposed and seen, fear of popularity. The reasons can be many. And the result is one, that is sabotage. Why I'm saying only sabotage and not self-sabotage? Several times we invite sabotage from others without even realizing that it's we who are actually manifesting this sabotage. We think that others are sabotaging, others are out to get you, others are being unfair, others are being vindictive. However, as you unpeel the layers of your subconscious mind, you realize that others are eventually your extensions and projections. They are precisely doing what you want them to do at the subconscious level. Ask yourself what would happen to you if others did not sabotage. Are you ready for the consequences? You may say yes, and yet at the subconscious level, probably you're not yet ready. Hence, unknowingly, you attract the sabotage. It's time to stop. Stop these games. We are wasting time. We are wasting resources and energies. We are damaging our relationships with others, and we are damaging our relationship with self. We're wasting so much of energy in resolving the inner conflict. Don't you think it's time to rise beyond these games and open up? Open up to easy, effortless life, success, glory, harmony, peace. Don't we deserve that? Why complicate? And why invite sabotage? Or why sabotage? Is it really necessary? The answer will lead you towards a different future. Today, I'm going to suggest few of the remedial recitation to help that part of your being, that part of your personality, who's in the game of sabotage. And all that we need to awaken is the spirit of cooperation. Cooperation with self, cooperation with the authority, and cooperation with the ultimate authority, and that is the Creator. I know a lot of spiritual enthusiasts, how they systematically sabotage their entire life to prove that the Creator has taken a very wrong decision by sending them on this planet Earth, and it's really not worth being over here. This life is not worth them. And they sabotage the very reason, the purpose behind which they think they've been sent over here. This kind of game takes a toll on relationships, finances, career, health. It damages a lot. And it's time to undo these damages and revive the spirit of cooperation. Join me for the radical recitation. I'm going to recite some of those radical statements with powerful catalyst keywords such as transform, transcend, and soul's love. Soul's love dissolves all emotional toxins. Transform helps us the energy of emotions to get transformed, because emotions, thoughts, beliefs are all energies. They can never be destroyed. They can only be transformed. And the word transcend helps us in raising our consciousness so that we have a better overview of our lives. Raised consciousness is the greatest healer. So let's use these powerful catalyst keywords and recite together. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the child in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the child in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the child in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the helplessness of the child in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the helplessness of the child in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the helplessness of the child in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my passive aggressive behavior. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my passive aggressive behavior. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my passive aggressive behavior. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to avoid cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to avoid cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need to avoid cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my non-cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my non-cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my non-cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my issues with the authority figures. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my issues with the authority figures. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my issues with the authority figures. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my non-cooperation with the authority in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the non-cooperation with the authority in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the non-cooperation with the authority in me. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my self-sabotage. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my self-sabotage. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my self-sabotage. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my tendency to sabotage, to teach lessons to the authority. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my tendency to sabotage, to teach lessons to the authority. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my tendency to sabotage the authority, to teach them the lesson. With soul's love, I transform and transcend passive rebel. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the passive rebel. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the passive rebel. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my inability to say no. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my inability to say no. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my inability to say no. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the no-win situation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the no-win situation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend the no-win situation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for cooperation. With soul's love, I transform and transcend my need for cooperation. The spirit of cooperation is there within you, deep within, which has been buried, which has been suppressed with sabotage. Let's awaken that. I awaken the spirit of cooperation. I awaken the spirit of cooperation. I awaken the spirit of cooperation. I awaken the win-win situation. I awaken the win-win situation. I awaken the win-win situation. I awaken the peace and harmony within. I awaken the peace and harmony within. I awaken the peace and harmony within. I awaken peace with my being. I awaken the peace with my being. I awaken the peace with my being. I awaken the peace with life. I awaken the peace with life. I awaken the peace with life. I awaken my awakened self. I awaken my awakened self. I awaken my awakened self. Keep reciting. Keep cooperating. And stay tuned. Thank you. And that's all for today.